Okay, what are you saying, people? Welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is doing good. Like always, guys, if you're new to the stream, please be sure to like and subscribe. If you are finding it useful, it really does help out the channel. If you haven't done already, check out the Telegram channel. I do have a link to that in the description, also at the top of the chat. Share posts, watch list for the week, trades, videos I create, so feel free to check that out. If you haven't done already as well, go take a look at the broker. I do have my affiliate link to IC Markets if you are looking for a broker. But yeah, guys, welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is doing good. Again, already halfway through the week. Time does fly, but yeah, I hope everyone's doing good. Let me know what pairs anyone's looking at, if you're looking at any trades or whatnot. I'm personally looking at pound CAD. I like the pullback on this one back into a good area of interest. I'm waiting for some more momentum and some bigger rejection on the hourly time frame before I look to enter. But coming into this area, I am looking at potentially the next lower high. Excuse me. Potentially the next lower high for another down leg. Let me make that a little bit brighter. There we go. So yeah, I'm looking for potentially another move to the downside for pound CAD. So I'm looking at some sales in my entry area now. There was a slight bearish engulfing here, but not enough for me to enter a trade. The market is not showing much momentum. It's showing some good rejection, some nice wicks in the 4H and the hourly. So I'm looking for a bigger candle to confirm momentum's back into the market for the bears. And then yeah, we'll be looking to sell this one to the downside. This was a pair that I was actually wanting to put in the watch list at the start of the week, but didn't quite make it. Some other pairs have gone without me, especially Euro pound melt to the downside. And yen pairs quite strong. CHF still pushing. Haven't seen a retracement for the third week in a row now. And yeah, pound yen pushed to the upside as well with some pound news this morning. So unfortunately not able to capitalize on those yen positions. So pound CAD has stepped up to the plate and it is looking interesting. So yeah, waiting for some more signs that we're going to roll over. And then yeah, hopefully we can get some shorts on this one. Something like this. Stop loss above, looking for a push back down to the lows, maybe like a little 1 to 3, something like that. I do have targets down here, which I was speaking about yesterday, but yeah, probably would not push the trade all the way down to these areas, but maybe leave a little bit on. But yeah, I am looking at another lower high. We've got high over there, low, lower high, low. Looking for another lower high, yeah, new lows. Simple structural pattern. What is up, Sanjay? What is up? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Excuse me, voice a little bit croaky. Tony Gold, what is up? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Richie, what is up? Good morning. Abel, good morning. Brian, good morning. Hope everyone's doing good. How you guys on up with 10% inflation in the UK? Yeah, it's quite a lot, to be fair. I mean, there's probably actually more than 10% inflation. I mean, 10% is probably what's recorded as, but it's probably a lot more than that if you take account to other things, which is, you know, almost doubled in price. But yeah, it is. It's the time of inflation right now. It's the time of inflation. Sergio, what's up? Hope you're doing good. I'm doing well. Gold selling off hard. Yeah, I did see that. Gold did take a big plummet to the downside. I'll go take a look at gold. Excuse me, in a bit more detail, because yeah, that one did roll over big time. Bahram, what is up? What does suppose you mean CHF any possibility of shorts? Well, I'm personally bullish on the pair. I don't think I'll be getting any trades for that one. That one is flying to the upside, but I definitely will not be looking to sell CHF I'm definitely bullish on that one, and I'll explain why shortly. I'm on pound JPY long 50 pips. Nice. I was looking to get long on pound yen as well. Didn't see the pullback I was after, but yeah, congrats, Richie. I mean, pound yen is looking strong. Did you get in this morning, or was it from yesterday? Because riding the pound news there. Free boy, was up? Not generous. Gorgeous rock bottom. Please give your opinion. What does that mean? Gorgeous rock bottom. Yeah, what are you talking about? Which pair are you talking about? Jezreel, what is up? Hope you're doing good. Gold just... Okay, gold. Okay, yeah, gold just rock bottom. Okay, yeah, we'll go through gold as well. So yeah, I'll go through gold, CHF, JPY, pound yen as well, because I'm looking at those pairs. Don't think I'll get any trades, but we'll go over them nonetheless. So yeah, gold, big push to the downside. So gold wasn't having any of that bullish momentum from yesterday. Ever since it broke through the trend line, I have been a bit on red alert for gold. It's still been bullish. Not currently right now, but yesterday I was looking for buys on Monday. Didn't quite see that entry signal I was looking for. Price broke through that, and then it broke through the trend line as well. So ever since we saw this kind of price action coming back into the trend line, it wasn't looking very, very clean to buy. So I've just been holding back from gold, keeping an eye on it, and obviously waking up this morning seeing price plummeting to the downside. We were favoring some shorts on the lower time frames. However, yesterday I was talking about some shorts coming into this area here. Price did actually see some nice downside, but I did a good job of taking some people out if they haven't taken their profit down at some of these areas. If you did sell here, really nice move to the downside, but then gold did a good job. Gold did a good job of taking people out of the trade, and that's why gold is a little bit scary to trade, because it's very, very volatile. This move to the upside was completely unnecessary. People, selling from here caught a nice move, and theoretically should have been catching this move to the downside, but gold being gold, just wanted to take out people's stop losses above these highs first, trick some people into buys maybe, and then decides to roll over, which will be very, very annoying if you didn't get back into the position. So, yeah, gold, is creating this bearish structure now. We've got low generated here with a strong impulse. We've got lower high here, another strong impulse move to the downside, creating a lower low. And now the market just creates another lower high and a new, it could be a lower low here. It might still bleed a little bit further, but we are taking out these lows here. So we are creating some new lows. So we've got this bearish structure here with gold. So on the 4H time frame, especially with a candle closure like that candle closure is not messing around at all. Humongous bearish candle closing underneath these wick lows here. So this is telling me that there's most likely going to be more downside for gold. And we can start looking at some of these higher lows on the left as targets to aim for. So support here around 1960, support down here as well, strong support 1940, as you can see was resistance briefly as well. These are looking like really good targets for gold. I still do think gold's going to eventually go and hit the all-time highs, which is around 2070. So I think gold's going to have a deeper retracement, because again, if you zoom out, look at the higher time frames, we still do have this bullish structure here, this impulse, correction, impulse. We could see a correction like this, and then the attack on the highs. So you could even see a pullback, to whip out the Fibonacci. You got the 50% there, you got 0.618. We could see pullbacks, anywhere to these areas, and still going to attack the highs around 2075. So the long-term bias for gold is still to the upside, still looking for us to penetrate those highs there. But we might be looking for a deeper retracement, maybe to this fib areas around here. Excuse me. Excuse me. So yeah, maybe run to this fib areas around there, and then we go and push to the upside. So yeah, just dropping to the low time frames. Yeah, you want to be looking at shorts. These targets look good, 1960, 1940. If we can pull back to some key areas, around this area here, this should be a nice place to look at. Some really key support here, as we can see, big support there with the wicks, briefly resistance there as well. This could be a nice little place to catch that third lower high, 1, 2, and 3. Potentially catch some more sales to the downside into that 1960, then 1940 level there as well. So yeah, for gold, I think maybe the next few days or so we'll probably see more downside. Long term, I'm still favoring gold to rally to the upside, take up those highs here at 2040 and hit those all-time highs at 2075. So I still do think long-term gold is still going to be attacking the highs there, but maybe for the rest of the week and maybe some of next week as well. It depends how long it takes gold. That I can't predict, but yeah, it does look like we're going to see more downside over the next few days, and maybe coming back down to that fib areas around 1930, 1910, maybe 1900 as well, big psychological level there. Maybe you can start forming some bullish price action again, and then start going bullish to get some nice buys in. So yeah, for gold, you want to be looking at some retracement and continuation to the downside. Yeah, crazy move this morning. How's dollar looking? Yeah, dollar's not that strong. Gold's kind of stealing the show there. It's not like we saw a lot of dollar strength here, and suddenly gold and the dollar pairs have seen a lot of downside. Euro's looking a little bit bearish. Pound, not much. Obviously, pound, we did have the news as well for pound. So big wick to the upside. Ends the USD a little bit of downside. AUD a little bit downside as well. So yeah, gold kind of stole the show. But we are seeing a little bit of dollar strength, but nothing too crazy. Again, dollar is still in this kind of corrective channel here to the downside with those lower lows and lower highs. So we could be seeing maybe potentially another push to the upside for dollar back into the resistance here, into this high and into that trend line. And then that will be a very interesting place for the DXY. Do we hold that place? If we do, we could just see the downtrend continue. This thing has been bearish for quite a while. There's not too much stopping us from seeing more weakness for the dollar. Coming back into 101 to 102, 260, we'll call it. So there could be some short-term bullish momentum for dollar, which could help gold down, Euro USD down, Pound USD down, all those dollar pairs head down. But yeah, this is really where I'm interested to see what happens with dollar. Because if you have a breakout, then sure, yeah, we could be looking at a reversal and price heading higher. We are at a very strong support level. So the reversal is a possibility, but also the sell-off is a possibility. So this is where the area of confluence lies, the area of interest lies, where we could see a push into, and then we can make a better decision what could happen next for the DXY. If we can hold it and reject it, we'll be expecting to move back down to lows, back down to 101. If we break through, then we could be looking at a reversal, start ticking some of these levels off. But right now, DXY middle of nowhere, need to see what we do up around 102 to 100. So yeah, that's kind of a verdict for dollar DXY. Looking at CHF-JPY, that one's long gone. I'm not looking to sell CHF-JPY at all. I know it's coming back to some resistance back here on the left, but again, the way I trade is not looking just to sell resistance or buy support. I'm looking to trade structure, momentum, trend, and the trend for me for CHF-JPY is firmly to the upside. So coming into the week, I was looking for a correction back down to this area. Haven't quite seen it yet. There's still a possibility because this is one hell of a bullish move here. And it's also not very impulsive. It's very, very corrective. So I do think there is room to the downside for us to buy this guy back up again. I'm still looking for new highs past this point here. So in my books, there's still room to the upside for CHF-JPY. Although we are coming to that higher time frame resistance, I do think we're most likely going to poke through these highs at 151.496. Therefore, I do still see more upside. So the trade opportunity I'm looking at is still valid, still there, but I need to see a correction. The market could just continue in this sluggish move to the upside like this. If it does that, I'm not really interested. But if it can come back down, then yeah, that higher low will look juicy. Another push back to highs, and then if we're lucky, back to 151.496. So yeah, CHF-JPY, I'm not interested in sales whatsoever. I know it's at resistance, but I need a lot more than that if I'm going to sell a market. And this is where I'm looking to buy from, 147.500. We've got consecutive higher lows, got some good confidence around this level as well, good fib confidence too. So yeah, we'll be looking for buys around here. If we don't get that, then I won't be interested. And obviously pound yen, big push to the upside. I think it's hitting that 148, not 148, sorry, that 168 area. Well, actually almost that 168 area. Just above 168. This is the resistance we're looking for pound yen to come into this week. And yeah, we're almost there. We do have the prior weekly, monthly highs up here, which is still a target we could probably aim for in the coming weeks. But this is definitely a strong resistance where we might see some downside here for pound yen, some pullbacks where we can buy it back up and continue this bullish trend because the market is still printing higher lows. So I would imagine that will be continuing until we get to 172. But this is definitely a strong level. If I take this across, you can see it's a very strong level of resistance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Big level here, just above 168. So we'll be expecting retracement from these areas. So I'm not interested in buying pound yen at all right now. I need to see some pullbacks for this one. And then I'll be interested. Let me just delete that. So yeah, pound yen, I'll probably be looking at something like this. This we just broke through a nice level of good momentum. If you can pull back onto it, that would interest me. So yeah, yen pairs, I do see a lot more upside for them. Yen pairs, I do see more upside, but yeah, moving without me, unfortunately. But yeah, congrats, Richie, being in that yen position. Price is booming. Where am I? USJPY. Okay, we'll take a look. Sinbaz. Danielle, so your technical so good, but what about fundamentals? Yeah, I don't really look at fundamentals for my personal trading. I'm a technical trader. I only look at technicals when I enter a trade. If the technicals line up, then I'm taking a trade. That's what I've back tested. That's what I've seen as profitable. It's what I'm profitable with. So again, fundamentals are great, if you know how to use them and incorporate in your trading. But at the end of the day, you need technicals to actually buy and sell the market at the correct areas. So the way I see it, if your technicals are a good standard, you can easily be profitable. Obviously, fundamentals maybe could add a little bit more to your game. And personally, I'm looking to read up about fundamentals and look to add that to my game. But at the moment, for the past few years, I haven't been looking at fundamentals at all. You don't really need it. You don't really need it at all. But it's definitely something that I do want to work on though. Okay, so use the JPY over here. So yeah, use the JPY quite bullish. Didn't really see the retracement that I was after for this guy either. I was looking for price to come back into this area here. Had some really good confluence coming back into this area. Didn't quite make it into the 133, 500, 133 area. Now it's pushing to the upside on some yen weakness, but also a little bit of dollar strength as well. So with CHF JPY, we could be coming up to a few areas. I'm looking at this area personally, a really nice support level, which we broke through with some really good momentum, never got the retest of. So 135, 500, 135, 500 looks like a likely place we're probably going to get a push into. Maybe from there, we can see some pullbacks to the downside and then get the next higher low to the upside. And then possibly after that, we could be looking at push back to the highs there for USD JPY. So for this one's quite bullish. There's nothing really to do with this one unless you're already in a trade, in a position, because this ship has sailed. The train is definitely left the station with this one. So you want to be seeing some pullbacks if you are looking to get involved. If you are involved, fair play, manage your trade accordingly to your plan. But this looks like an obvious level we could be coming into. I haven't got the retest of it, so that price has an incentive to come back and retest that area. So I would be expecting more upside for USD-JPY. Again, USD-JPY is kind of one of the only yen pairs that hasn't really got going yet. Maybe apart from AUD and NZD-JPY. But all other yen pairs have been flying. Pound yen, Euro yen, CAD yen, CHF, Swiss yen, all have been flying to the upside. And I think USD-JPY is going to catch up now and see some good momentum back to 135, 500. And if we break through that, we do have 137, 500 up there. So yeah, you want to be seeing some pullbacks. If not, it looks like it has gone. Okay, so hopefully that made sense on USD-JPY. Free boy, never seen anyone like you in Forex market. I'm following you for the past 2 months. Your USD analysis in March was on point. Yes, the O is also, and today gold also. Much appreciate. Again, there will be times where my analysis is not playing out. There'll be times where everything goes well, everything doesn't go so well, things go on average. Things will level out. I did see an Instagram reel the other day. It was talking about a rule of thirds, and it relates to trading so much. And what it basically describes is that a third of the time things would be going very, very well. A third of the time things would be going okay, and the other third of the time things will not be going so well. And that's literally how trading works. If you follow your equity curve, it should look something like this. Things going well, things not going so well. Maybe a little bit sideways, things go well again, not so well, maybe sideways a little bit, up and down, things are going well. And this is literally what trading looks like. So through these periods here, things are going fantastic. These periods are a little bit losing periods, a little bit you have to manage your psychology. And then you get, the good periods as well. But as long as you got your risk to reward, you should be creating higher highs, with your equity eventually as you work your way up. But there will be times where the analysis is off, and that's normal. And there will be times when the analysis is on point as well, and that's normal too. But yeah, appreciate it, free boy. Siseklo, a good day. Do you look at seasonality? I am bearish on entity going into May, bullish on oil, need value / discount to continue long. Yeah, I don't really look at seasonality either. I've never really looked at it personally. I did dabble in it maybe a few years ago, but it was nothing, serious. At the time I was looking at everything and anything. So I did look at seasonality a little bit, but it never really stuck, and I haven't looked at it since. So again, there's so many ways to look at the markets, to trade the markets, look at this, look at that. The only important thing is using something that has an edge for you in your trading and you're consistent with. Whether it's seasonality, whether it's COT data, whether it's fundamentals, whether it's sentiment analysis, whatever it is. As long as it gives you an edge, that's what works. Just because I don't use it doesn't mean you shouldn't use it. I think there's probably many traders who use seasonality. I'm just not one of them. So yeah, for me at the moment, it's 110% technical. So if the technicals say buy, you best believe I will be looking to buy the market if I can get an opportunity to buy, and vice versa with the sells. Doesn't matter what seasonality says or COT data, I will take the buy, I'll take the sell. If I take the loss, I take the loss, but I've back tested, I've seen the results, so I'm okay with taking a loss. As long as I'm taking the right trade according to my analysis, yeah, I'm fine taking the loss. But yeah, at the moment, it's purely technicals. I will be looking to see if I add fundamentals to my game as well, just to make me a bit more well-rounded as a trader, because it's all well and good having good technicals, but at the end of the day, you want to be as well-rounded, well-equipped as possible. So maybe things like seasonality, COT data, fundamentals, will be coming to my game eventually. But at the moment, technicals is what gets me in the market and gets me out. So yeah, I hope that made sense. I will take a look at oil though, because I do think oil could actually see some more upside from a high time frame perspective. Orion, what's up? Hope you're doing good. Anything you're looking at? Dre FX, love your analysis, but I love your patience way more. Much appreciate. Yeah, I mean, being patient is something I had to work on. It's not something that I'm just patient naturally. I mean, maybe I'm a patient person naturally, but definitely in trading, there's been large periods of my trading where I've been very, very impatient. So being patient is definitely a conscious thing that I reflect on a lot, and yeah, really create it a part of my game. Me being patient is also just as important as me taking a trade. I could take a trade, it fits my criteria well, but if there's nothing there, me choosing to be patient and waiting for a better opportunity to come is also a difficulty in itself, because sometimes you just want to take the trade, you want to get involved, the possibility to make money is there for you, so you have the urge to trade. But yeah, being patient is it's a skill and it's difficult to learn, but once you get it, once you understand it, yeah, being patient is I find it right now to be not easy but very easier, because I know what I'm after in the market. So it's very easy to be patient when you know what you want. When you don't know what you want, then it's quite difficult, because you don't know when to be patient. Because I remember there was some times where I was very, very patient. I wouldn't take a trade for like 2-3 days, and then I'll take a trade just to take a trade that doesn't even fit my plan. So what was the point of being patient for 2-3 days if you're just gonna take a trade that doesn't even fit your plan? Yeah, it's having that clarity of know what you're after as well. You might have to be patient for 2-3 days. You might have to be patient for 2-3 hours. The market will dictate that. But yeah, I do appreciate it. Any major prominent setup for today? Yeah, pound CAD. Pound CAD is actually in my area of interest right now. So if I can see a shift in momentum, which could be happening, yeah, if I can get a closure similar to that, I will be looking to enter pound CAD shorts to the downside. It has some really nice structure with this one, from the top down to the full H, and on the hourly if I can get that entry candle. But essentially we've had this humongous level here that the market has been rejecting. Really strong support. This is the weekly time frame, by the way. Really strong support the market's been rejecting on the weekly. We're just coming for a double top there in the weekly as well. As you can see, if I drop to the full H, the market has been printing some lower lower highs here. So we had the high originally up there, next lower high, obviously the low. Let me mark it on new low there. And now I'm looking for the next lower high for another drive back to the downside. So if I can get a nice bearish engulfing there, well, I did get bearish engulfing earlier, but it was a little bit too small for me. So if I can get another one there, I will be looking to enter something like this, stop loss above the zone, and then targets back down to the lows. May look to push it back to this level here as well, since we didn't get a retest when we broke through. So I know there's a good chance the market is likely to come back and retest this level here at 1.65. Normally when we do get big impulsive breaks like this, the market eventually does come back to retest the level. So you know, breaking through those lows there, most likely will come back to this area and probably that area there as well. But yeah, pound CAD looks good. Pound CAD looks good. I like the lower highs. I like the lower lows. Most importantly, you can see a very impulsive move to the downside, breaking through the lows there as well. It's not very corrective. We've got some big bearish candles breaking through the low with force. You know, this is the type of market you want to be shorted. You know, shorting strong impulsive moves, not moves that are very, very corrective and half-hearted. So yeah, pound CAD looks good. Hopefully you can get something there shortly, maybe for the next 25 minutes when the hourly candle closes. We'll see how it closes, because a lot can happen in 25 minutes. Potentially could pull back bullish. Yeah, I don't want to enter too early. It's always going to have to be candle closures for me to enter a trade. But yeah, pound CAD is very prominent, very prominent. I don't know if is pound weak, because obviously pound's very, very strong after the news this morning, but has pound lost that? Pound AUD not doing too much. Pound yen, not much there, seeing a little bit of downside. Or we've seen some CAD strength. Okay, pound USD seeing some downside, but dollar's a little bit strong there. Pound NZD not much. What's CAD doing? Okay, Euro CAD seeing some downside. AUD CAD seeing some downside. USD CAD is quite strong. So yeah, it's a little bit of both, but yeah, I will be looking to take that trade if I can get a good entry for it. So yeah, we'll be focusing on that quite a lot. Good morning, Rennie J. What is up? Hope you're doing good. Captain Kimanzi, what is up? AJY will take a look. What do you think of Euro AUD? Okay, we'll go over Euro AUD DXY. Where can we expect CHFJY to retrace? I don't know. I don't know when we can expect it. I mean, retrace when it retraces. You know, that's not really, you know, our job title. You know, to know when price will retrace or do something. It would be nice to know. Don't get me wrong. It would be very, very nice to know. But yeah, it's as to when, I have no idea. You know, for all we know, CHFJY could continue flying and take up the highs first before it decides to retrace. The market doesn't have to do anything. It's very, very correct. It's very, very corrective price action. So I would imagine the retracement would be imminent. It would be soon. Yeah, the market just doesn't have to retrace. It can keep going as long as, you know, Swiss is strong, as long as yen is weak. Price could go and take out the highs here at 151. Which is the prior, you know, daily, weekly highs up here, and then retrace. So it will be up to the market. I have no idea when it retrace. All I have to do is make sure I'm ready for when it does. So yeah, that's the only, you know, the real part we have to worry about, is just being ready for when it does. And you can set alerts or, you know, whatever. Just make sure you're ready for when it does. But yeah, at the moment I have no idea. ADJPY will take a look, and UAD as well. So ADJPY is coming back to some nice areas as well. Higher time frame, specifically the daily chart, is still bearish. So although the 4H is breaking through the highs, the daily is still bearish. So I do still think, as long as we can respect this structure, there is room for another push to the downside for ADJPY. I'm not willing to try and catch it on a dime though, because like I always say, 4H is my main time frame. If the 4H is bullish, I can't be looking for sells and vice versa. So I need to see the market start printing some lower lows and lower highs before I look to get involved and do anything. But I do think we can probably see a lower high forming around this area here. If I whip out the old Fibonacci from the high to the low, you can see we're just pulling back into the 0.618. You do have the 0.786 here as well. So we do have some areas of confluence where the market could be looking to get involved. React from. So this is a very nice place of confluence just underneath 92. So it'd be very interesting if we get there. But we've got this bearish structure, and I'm looking for that bearish structure to continue on the daily. But it's a little bit too aggressive to be shorting directly on the 4H or even lower time frame. So I'm waiting for some reversal pattern to start developing first, and then I'll be looking to short this one, back down to support around here. Probably not down there, but probably back to 88 if we can get some good price action. So yeah, 80 JPY bearish bias because of the daily time frame. 4H, yes, has some bullish structure, but it's not very confident, very corrected, move to the upside, clearing the highs. I don't really want to be following that move. I want to be seeing if we can get some reversals to go back down again. So we'll be waiting for the shorts for 8 JPY, but at the moment, need to stay patient with this one. Euro AUD, we'll take a look at that one. What's Euro AUD doing these days? So yeah, a little bit corrective. We're kind of in a retracement consolidation stage. Obviously, if I zoom out, we can see the market structure is definitely bullish. Consistent higher highs and higher lows for quite some time now. I do think it's coming into a very strong, it is coming to a very strong level of resistance. So it's probably not the best time to be looking to buy Euro AUD anymore. I know the trend is, fixed to the upside right now, and you're always being told follow the trend, buy the trend, but you need to be wary where the trend is. Trend is your friend, but you don't want to buy into resistance either. So with Euro AUD, I'll be saying be patient for this one. There might be some short-term buys coming into this area, but personally for me, I'll be waiting to see if we can get a reversal. Price breaking to the downside, looking at some lower lows and lower highs. That would be a very nice trade to take, because then we've got the break of structure, a reversal, and we've got the high time frame level giving us that extra boost in that direction to the downside. So yeah, I know the structure is still quite bullish. The market's still showing a lot of signs of bullish momentum. So it's a bit corrected now, but we have seen some really nice moves to the upside recently. But where we're trading right now at this 1.64 level on the weekly time frame, I don't really want to be looking to buy into that anymore. If we break through, then that's a different story. The retest is a different story, but you need to break through first. If anything, we could see some retracement, maybe come back down and retest this area. We could probably get some nice sells down at that level. So yeah, Euro AUD, I'll be waiting for some reversals for this one. That's a little bit premature. We haven't got it yet, so again, need to be patient. But I do think there's a lot of room to the downside if we can get the break of structure and see some lower lows and some lower highs. But I wouldn't be such a big fan of looking for more upside just yet. I hope that made sense for Euro AUD. DXY, I'll quickly go over it as well. GJ as well. Are you talking about the lower time frames, Eric? Because when I looked at Pound Yen, there was not much blood there, but maybe in the lower time frames. Gold, okay, Pound AUD, we'll take a look. Nike, what is up? Welcome to the screen. Can you take a look at Pound CAD? Yeah, Pound CAD I'm looking at shorting in roughly the next 20 minutes. I will be keeping one eye on Pound CAD to see how the candle closes. If it does close how it was when I was looking at it previously, we'll be looking to short there for a move to the downside. Okay, so let me go through DXY first and take a look at Pound Yen. So yeah, DXY, like I said, oh wow, DXY really pushing. We literally looked at DXY like 15 minutes ago and it was just around here. Now, big push to the upside. So yeah, DXY seems to be having the time of his life right now. It's coming to that 102-200 area. So this is the area of confluence where we're going to see what DXY wants to do. If you can hold onto this area, then yeah, I've got to expect to see this descending pattern continue. If we start breaking through, then it could be signs of reversal for the DXY and some dollar strength back on the cards again, because we are at a very strong support level, as we can see. Big move to the upside. We could be seeing something similar, maybe coming for a deeper retracement to some of these areas. Break out the channel, push to the upside, maybe a major lower high forms, and we continue down. So something like that could happen for DXY, but we need to see what the market wants to do at this area first. If we see some good wicks around here, some good rejection, I do think there'll be some really nice sells for the DXY. In that case, that's a nice buys for like Euro, Pound, nice sells for USD CAD, but we need to see what happens first, whether we get the breakout or the rejection. Right now, still too early. We're not at the area yet, so keep an eye out for DXY coming to that resistance. But at the moment, we're seeing bullish momentum, so I'll be expecting a little bit more at least to come and test that area. Then we can study the price action in that area. So yeah, that's kind of my outlook on the DXY. Pound yen, we'll take a look. Few people requesting pound yen. So yeah, pound yen, I'm still bullish on, looking for more upside. Not really seeing too much downside. Again, maybe in the lower time frames, then yeah, it is seeing some downside. But in the grand scheme of things, it's hardly anything. You know, the market is still very, very bullish. If we have the higher time frames, still have a big level there. The market's not quite at yet, which I'll be expecting a little bit more upside to for the market to push into. So personally, for me, I am still looking at more upside for pound yen, and price coming back into this area here. I would expect the higher low form and more upside back into that 168,500 level. So pound yen, definitely bullish on, still creating higher highs and higher lows. Of course, you want to see some retracement before looking to get involved. But I'm expecting price to keep pushing to the upside. 168,500 is where I see price going. So yeah, it might be seeing some downside now. I would not be looking to sell that. Way too aggressive for me. The market is still bullish from weekly, daily, 4H, hourly. Yes, we are seeing a little bit of downside, but it's a very aggressive, anti-trend type of trade. Of course, if you've got a plan in place, trade the plan. But, all I can do really is just share with you my advice and my analysis and my opinions. So, yeah, pound yen, I'll be expecting more upside, a higher low to form. 167 will be the area of interest. Really nice resistance. Broke through with good momentum. Haven't got the retest of that area. So, it looks good. Nice trend line confluence there as well. So, if you can see what we can get around those areas, some good wicks, some good rejection, momentum, that could be a nice little entry to take it up one last push into that daily level. Then we can call it a day and see what happens up at those highs. Or we might just push without the retracement. It's up to pound yen. But yeah, overall for pound yen, bullish, still looking at more upside for that one. Okay, I'll quickly go over gold, pound AUD as well. Keep an eye on pound CAD, seeing that momentum to the downside. We'll be looking for some entries for that one. Take a entry on that candle closure, stop loss above. Again, still got 14 minutes, so the candle closure could be down here, could be up there, and you see how it closes. But I'm liking the shift in momentum off this level here. Really nice support level, turn resistance, looking for that third little high coming into probably the 0.618 of the fib. If I whip out the old fib-a-rooney, you can see they're coming to 0.618 there. So yeah, things are looking really good for pound CAD. Things are looking really good confluence. Just need to see that entry signal off that momentum, and then yeah, we'll be expecting price to roll over into these lows here, and probably push it at this rate, because I do want to see if we can get 1 to 3 back to 1.65, maybe 1.64 as well. But we'll be keeping an eye. Still about 13-14 minutes left before we get entry, so yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on that. Anyway, what did I say? I'll take a look at gold, pound AUD. So yeah, gold's still looking pretty bearish. Like I said, I do think I'll probably see more downside for gold over the next few days now. With that structure creating, the market's printed 2 lower highs and now it's just broken through the support with that awfully big bearish engulfing candle that's just closed here for gold. So yeah, I can only expect more downside now. For me, ever since the market started to break through the trend line, that's when I became a little bit more neutral, still bullish bias because we haven't violated any structure. When the market's breaking through the trend line, it's a sign that we could be looking to reverse. I don't take trend line breaks or trade trend lines solely by itself, but trend lines are a good indication when the trend is starting to shift and could be looking to reverse. And then when we get the break of structure, that's what confirms everything. And price has literally just gone and done that with that candle closure. So not pound yen, gold for me, we'll be expecting more downside for the next few days. I do think overall this guy is still likely to head up back to 2074, 2075, the all-time highs, but we're probably going to look at a bit more retracement. We do have the infamous 1900 handle here, so you could be looking at maybe retracement to around that area there. If I whip out the Fibonacci on this move, you can see it almost lines up with the 0.618, so we've got some good confluence around here. Maybe we're going to see a deeper retracement for gold, back down to this area here, and that's when we go bullish again for attack back on the highs. You know, we've got the low, higher high, higher low, higher high, potentially higher low, higher high. You know, simple structure. So yeah, that's what we could be looking at for gold over the next maybe few days. So I'm expecting more downside. And yeah, you want to be looking at some pullbacks, and the best area I've got right now is 1992 for a retest of that structure there. Possibly you could be looking at a retest of this, but it's a little bit too shallow of a retracement. You can see the breakout candle doesn't clear it by much, so I'll be looking for a deeper retracement than that. But yeah, we'll be expecting more downside for gold there. So yeah, I hope that made sense. Pound AUD I'll take a look at next. Vincent. Gold still falling, maybe going up a bit. Yeah, it might retrace, but definitely not something that I would look to buy. Again, you need to be able to differentiate between a possibility and an actual likely probability of a good setup. And what I mean by that is, yeah, possibly the market might go up, the market might go down, might do this, might do that. But are those opportunities worthwhile to actually trade with your capital? Most of them, majority of them, if not all of them, no. You want to be looking at very high probable, setups that meet your criteria well. Even these trades can fail as well. But you want to be looking at those setups, 95% of the time. And those are where you want to take your trades. You don't want to be looking at the market like, okay, yeah, it might go up now because it's fallen a little bit. That's just not enough to take a trade at all. Yeah, anyone could look at market and think, yeah, maybe it might go up now. And that's not worthwhile your time or your energy or your resources. So yeah, make sure you have good criteria set that you've tested, and then look to implement that in the markets, and strictly look to implement that in the markets, nothing else. When you get the urge to think, okay, it might go up, it might go down, you need to be able to put that aside and just, look objectively, is there a good opportunity that fits my plan well? If the answer is no, then your job is to sit on your hands. So, yeah, the gold might see some upside, but if it does that, we're coming up to some areas that you want to sell from. Not necessarily want to look to buy the trade. Unless you've got something in plan in place, and obviously feel free, go ahead. But, yeah. Sales is what I'll be looking at for gold. Pound AUD. Okay, then we're going to take a look at Pound AUD. So Pound AUD seen some upside. We did react off this trend line here yesterday. Again, I'm not really looking to buy Pound AUD. It's a little bit overbought for me, a bit overextended. So I'm not interested in buying the market anymore. I'm waiting to see if we can get a counter trend move, break through the trend line, create some lower lows and lower highs, and then take some shorts to the downside. Maybe I'm going to retest some of the structure. So this is kind of what I'm waiting on for Pound AUD. If I'm wrong and we break through the resistance here, then yeah, buys above that look very good. Because at the moment, the market is trying to possibly create the next higher low, 1, 2, 3. If the market is going to break through the resistance, then yeah, that's a good sign that, okay, the buy is actually winning this battle. And we probably are going to creep back into the highs and maybe even higher as well, 1.87. So, drop into the lower time frames, hourly, 30-minute, break and retest of 1.854. That looks like a solid buy back to the highs there. Nice range to trade with. Maybe take some partials coming to this area here as well. We just had a big impulse move to the upside, but that was followed by the news. So we need to see if the market's actually going to follow through on that, or is it simply just the news pushing price into resistance just to roll back over? That only time will tell. But personally for me, I'm looking at some downside, and if you can break out that structure, retest, similar to what's happening with Pound CAD, I will be looking at more downside for this one. So this is what I'm interested in for Pound CAD, Pound AUD, sorry. And yeah, for the buys, it'd be nice if price can break above the highs there. So that's kind of my analysis for Pound AUD, because price right now is kind of just ranging. Don't really want to be trading within this area, but if you are breaking to the upside, cool, the buys look good. If you break to the downside, cool, the sells look good. But in this area, it's a little bit 50-50 right now, and probably best to stay away. So yeah, hopefully that made sense on Pound Aussie. For Nessus, what is up? Hope you're doing good. Shorts. NCJ price shorts, okay, we'll take a look as well. Pound CAD, we will be entering on the full H of the hourly. And we'll be entering on the hourly time frame for pound CAD because the hourly time frame closes within the next 7 minutes. 4H will be closed in the next 3 hours. You can enter on the 4H, don't get me wrong, but I will be looking to enter on the hourly to maximize the risk rewards. Obviously, 4H will give you more confirmation. 4H will give you more confirmation for the trade. But the only problem is that the hourly could give you the entry here, and the 4H might give you the entry down here. So the risk reward changes quite a lot. But it's preference really, because 4H probably give you more reliable entries and probably will lose less, but then at the same time hourly will give you more when you win because the risk reward is better. So it's a bit of a balance, which is why sometimes I take 4H time frame if the hourly is a little bit sometimes I will take my trades in the 4H, sacrifice the less risk rewards, but get a better entry in terms of the success rate of it. But yeah, we'll be using the hourly for it. But we've got about roughly 5 minutes before the hourly candle closes. Things are looking pretty good. If we can get entry around here, we're looking at around about a 60 pip stop loss for around about a 180 pip target around to this 1.65 level. And then yeah, areas to take profit at, probably looking at this area here first, because this is the last resistance before the big break to the upside. It's a little bit close. But I know price will have, if it is going to go bullish, this is probably the place it's going to do that. If we start coming to these areas, then most likely it's going to continue anyway. So I'll probably look at 1.661 for partials, and then we could be looking at this low and call it a day at the low there on the way down. But we'll see in the next 5 to 4 minutes for pound CAD. In the meantime, let me go take a look at NZJPY. Is that? Yeah, NZJPY. I'll take a lock. So NZJPY, you said you're looking at shorts. So I was selling NZJPY from last week. Yeah, it was last week coming into this week. I did close the trade early, around here-ish. I entered up around here. So it was only a small win, but price action was not looking how I wanted it to look. Market was creating these higher lows. And yeah, the structure was not favorable for me anymore. I know the market still potentially could be forming a lower high. We still do have the trend line intact from this big move here on the left. But like I said, the price action is not what I want to be seeing. I want to be seeing the market ripping through to the downside, breaking out these lows. The fact that we are creating these high lows is a big red flag for me. So I am not liking the sales for NZJPY. I'm not looking to get back in the sales for NZJPY. If we start breaking structure to the downside, then yeah, that would interest me. If we can start seeing a big impulse move to the downside there, come back, retest some structure, lower high, lower high, lower high, that would interest me for some shorts. But I'm not willing to take some shorts up here. It's a little bit too, I don't have as much confidence, not as good a setup with the market, creating these high lows. I'm asking quite a lot from it. If the market does do it anyway, then yeah, I'll look to follow that momentum to the downside. So yeah, NZJPY in terms of the bias, it is bearish, but the setup is not of high quality anymore. Something like this will look pretty good there, so I'll be interested in that, but we got a lot of work to do before something like that forms. So I need to stay patient with NZJPY. I'm not liking the price action right now with these higher lows. We're kind of doing a bit of a, what's the name again? That triangle pattern where price is creating lower highs and higher lows. I forget the name of it. But yeah, price is kind of creating this consolidation pattern with the trend line, with the lower lows and the higher lows and the lower highs. So we could be seeing price getting ready for a breakout, whether it's the upside or to the downside. Nonetheless, it would probably be a good trade to follow that momentum as long as there's a sharp breakout. But at the moment, I'm not liking the price action at all. So if you can rip to the downside, yeah, the pullback would be good. But yeah, I'm not willing to get in before that. So hopefully that made sense for NZJPY. Again, guys, when I do my analysis, I'm just sharing my analysis, my opinions. But I don't want to necessarily talk you guys out of positions that are according to your plan. Some of you probably don't have a plan and you're kind of just here to try and catch a few pips. Others may have a plan in place and then maybe hear what I say and then think twice about the trade. The trading is never about trying to get the right trade in terms of the outcome. It's about taking the right trade according to your plan. As long as you've tested the plan and you know it works, then obviously you want to follow through. If you don't know the plan works, then obviously you're not going to have much faith and you need to go and test it out. But if you've got a plan in place and it works and you've tested it and it works before, then your main goal should be trading the plan best to your ability. You can probably cherry pick trades. I cherry pick trades. I don't take every trade that fits my plan. I make sure I take the ones with the best confluence. But if a trade fits your plan very, very well, and I'm thinking otherwise, still take the trade or take it on the demo account at least, because I could be wrong. And the most important thing is trading your plan. Anyway, so how's pound CAD looking? Pulling back a little bit there, but things are still looking good. Nice shift in momentum. So if you can get a trade something like this, stop loss just above the high, maybe just under 60 pips, we're looking at. I've got about a minute left till the hourly candle closes. We're looking at maybe just over 1 to 3 in terms of the risk to reward. Just over 1 to 3 in terms of the risk to reward. Back down to this area though, but we were taking partials there, so the overall profit will not be a 1 to 3 because I'll be taking partials. But the risk to reward altogether will be a 1 to 3. So yeah, we're looking at around 55 pips for stop loss. I'm looking about 180 pips for the target. So yeah, we'll be looking to enter the trade on that candle there. I'll have to post it in the old Telegram group as well. So bear with me. So how many pips? 54 pips. Okay, excuse me for that. A bit of silence there for you guys. Okay, let me take a picture. Okay, so TP1. And again, if you're not in the old Telegram chat, feel free to go and check it out. Link in the description to that, also at the top of the chat there as well. 2 and TP3. Picture, download image. Okay, just bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Pound CAD, G. What was the entry? Entry 1.66727. 1.66727. Stop loss 1.67266. 1.67266. First TP 1.66200. 1.66200. Second TP 1.65600. 1.65600. This is why it takes me so long to post trades, because I always have to write up all the numbers, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. I should find a faster way to do it, but at the moment I don't know how. 1.65. 1, 2, 3. Is that right? Hope it is. Okay, send to the group. Okay, where are we? Okay, so we're back. So yeah, currently in the pound CAD position, looking for a move to the downside. Those are the TPs I'm looking at into this area first, second area back down to the lows there, and then third area to the retest of 1.65. So this would have been on the watch list, but I was looking at the yen pairs, but unfortunately the yen pairs didn't give me the opportunity I was looking for. So I still will be looking to trade them, don't get me wrong, if I can see the necessary retracement, but I need a lot of retracement for them to get into any positions. But yeah, at the moment, pound CAD will suffice. Anyway, so CAD JPY will take a look as well. Jade Lifestyle, what is up? What about AUD-CHF? If it breaks hourly structure, can we take a sell to previous hourly low? Okay, we'll take a look. I mean, AUD-CHF is another pair which I'm focused on, looking to take some trades on as well. I'm personally looking at shorts as well. We'll go through the breakdown of that pair. Eric, Euro JPY and the 4H, could those two candlesticks fake out? Okay, we'll take a look as well. Look at GJ, where would you look to get in on the retest after this morning jump? Okay, I'll go through that shortly. Anus, what's up? Good morning, hope you're doing good. Welcome to the stream. Mustafa, I plan to enter Euro USD buy side 4 hour. Can you please take a look? Okay, we'll take a look. Yeah, Vincent, I'm currently in pound CAD shorts. Okay, let me go through a CAD yen first because that was requested. I'll go CAD yen, AUD-CHF, Euro yen, and then we'll take a look at pound yen after and euro. But yeah, just hopped into pound CAD. Excuse me. So CAD yen. So yeah, CAD yen flying to the upside. It's back at some key resistance right now with this ever so slight descending channel here. If I bring this to the downside, you can see we do have a slight descending channel and we're back at the highs there. So yeah, this is the prime place to sell it. Would I look to sell it personally right now? No. Price action is not looking too favorable. I need to see some reversal right now. The market structure is still quite bullish. Need to see some market create some lower lows and lower highs first before I entertain any sells. But generally speaking, in this area, if the market can hold into this area, I do think we can see some downside. It doesn't have to be too crazy. We don't necessarily have to look for a push all the way down to the lows here. I know many of you are day traders, intra-week traders. You can look for a push, back down to this area here. Still grab 100 pips to the downside. Maybe even this area here, 200 pips to the downside, and call it a day. We don't have to look for the full move, to consider it to be a winning trade or a good trade. You can just take a look at small, pieces of the cake. Small slice of the pizza, and still make some decent risk reward. So yeah, if CAD JPY can see some reversal right now, it's consolidating. If you can break structure, create some lower lows and lower highs, probably get some nice shorts down to 99, 97, 750. We get some trades there. If you start breaking through, then we'll monitor that because again, it could be a bigger reversal on the daily time frame. So we'll see what happens there if you can get a strong daily closure above. But at the moment, it's a nice primary to sell. You just need to see a bit more development before actually clicking the trigger. So yeah, hopefully that made sense for CAD yen. Aussie Swiss. So yeah, AUD-CHF coming to the week. Looking at some sells for this guy. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's coming back to my area of interest. This is the area I was looking at coming into the week. If I just get up the old trading view profile. So I did share some shorts for AUD-CHF coming into the week. If you haven't checked me out on trading view, feel free to do that. Link in the description below. But yeah, coming to the week, I was looking for the third lower high to form. Had a really nice lower high there. Second one, looking for the third one, retesting 0.61. Had some good fib confidence there too, but doesn't look like we're quite getting that retracement. So we could look to roll over here. This is where I've got the most confidence here. So that's personally where I'll be looking to short from. I'm not really interested in areas down here. A bit more of a lower time frame trade. Doesn't mean it won't work though, because I'm still looking at AUD-CHF pushing back down to the monthly lows down here. So I do think there's still a lot more downside in the tank for this one. But I would really like to see a move up than a move down. Where did you say if it breaks hourly structure, can we sell to previous hourly low? So are you talking about, okay, if it breaks through this support here, you're looking for push to this support level? Makes sense. Makes sense, because if the market is going to take that bigger push to the upside, you will be expecting the market to create some higher highs and higher lows. If we do break through that, you do have, a fairly decent range to trade with, back down to 0.599. It would make some sense there. So yeah, on the low time frames, you probably want to drop to maybe the 30 minute to maximize that risk reward. I'm not really a breakout type of guy, so I would be advocating a break and retest on that level there, maybe the 30 or the 15 minute. If it does see a nice hourly candle closure below, it could still roll over, but like I said, I don't really look at taking trades because of a breakout. I like the break and retest pattern. But yeah, it's a nice little range to work with. High time frames are bearish from the monthly all the way down to like the hourly. So yeah, in terms of the confluences are very, very high for Aussie Swiss, and I would be expecting to see a move back down to 0.599. I'll still be hoping to see if you can get a bigger push up to this level, because this is where my confluence lies. But we will see. Beggars can't be choosers, especially in the markets. So yeah, that'll be the plan for myself for Aussie Swiss. But if it breaks that support, I would be expecting to see a push into the low there. So yeah, I do like the idea, Jade. Euro yen, we'll take a look at pound yen as well. So euro yen, pound yen, similar pairs for the past few days, really been pushing to the upside. That's pound yen, euro yen been pushing as well. I think euro yen's back in the daily resistance. It should be. Yeah, it is back in that daily resistance. So yeah, euro yen's probably going to take up the wick high there. We have to acknowledge we are on resistance now. So I am looking at retracement still for euro yen. The fact that we've broken through this high is very, very corrective as well. I do expect to see some retracement now. It's not really ripping to the upside, euro yen. I know it's seeing a lot of good bullish momentum, but this is very corrective, unsustainable price action. I will be expecting to see some retracement soon enough. Hopefully you can get a push back down to this level here, 145,500. Looking for that next high low. We've got one there, second one here. Let's see if we can find a third one around this area here, retest the level. Then again, euro yen, more upside. So that's kind of the plan for euro yen. Did you say what you're looking at for euro yen? EJ on the 4H, could those two candlesticks be fake out? Possibly. Let me remove this so we can see it a little bit better. We know the daily levels above us. Possibly could be a fake out, but you need to see the market close back below. So I assume this are the two candles you're talking about. Big move up, big move down, possibly a fake out there. So yeah, that could be a fake out possibly, but you need to wait 2 hours and 49 minutes at least to consider it a fake out, because within this 2 hours and 49 minutes, the lifespan of that candle, this could actually pull back up and close bullish, and that would not be a fake out at all. That could just be a break and retest, and the market's still flying. Remember, the high time frames, from the monthly, weekly down to the 4H hourly, maybe even lower as well, is bullish. The trend for euro yen is bullish, so you don't really want to be trying to be aggressive and try and call a fake out early, because probability is stacked against you. Trend is your friend, but it's not your friend in this instance. So you want to be making sure you're at least seeing the candle closure back below, and then possibly, yeah, that could be a fake out if you see a nice candle closure below. Retest on the level there on the low time frames, probably catch some nice shorts for a counter trend move there. Not a bad opportunity, not one I would take though, a little bit too aggressive for me still. But yeah, definitely wait for a candle closure at least, which will take 2 hours and 48 minutes. But at least there you get a much more confirmed answer if it is a fake out or if it isn't. Because like I said, in those 2 hours and 48 minutes, we could flip bullish and fly, and it should be a waste of a trade to take. But yeah, possibly it is. Personally, this one I'm looking at for euro yen, and very similar, very, very similar for pound yen as well, which is over here. So yeah, very similar setup. I'm looking at pound yen. Someone asked what I'm looking for the break and retest. This is what I'm looking at for the break and retest. 167, really nice higher highs and higher lows. High, low, high, low, high. Looking at new low forming around 167. Hourly time frame for entries, possibly 30 as well. You can probably sneak an entry in the 30 as well, and probably just maximize that risk reward a little bit more. But all I'm seeing for pound yen is consistent higher highs and higher lows. Recently broke to the upside with really good momentum as well. So that's something we're looking to follow. And 168,500, which is this daily zone here on the left, huge daily resistance zone there. That's what I see price pushing towards, and eventually we'll be back to highs here at 171,500. So the plan for pound yen is still looking at price climbing higher, and we're just looking to buy sufficient, good quality pullbacks with some good confluence, with some good entries. That's the objective with pound gem. So when I see some good downside, I'll be looking for the high lows to form, as long as we don't break structure, of course. As long as we don't break structure, I will be looking at anticipating pound yen to continue higher. Just need to wait for the good setups, essentially. So yeah, pound yen still looking at a lot more upside there. Thank you so much, Eric Cantona, for subscribing. Big fan. Where was I? So yeah, Euro yen, pound yen, Euro USD. We'll take a look. Did I miss that? If I missed that pair, let me know. I don't know if I missed that pair. If I have, let me know. I sometimes do that and get carried away. So if I have missed out a pair, just remind me. But Euro USD, we'll take a look at next. After good morning, watch. What's up? Hope you're doing good. Welcome to the stream. Any pairs you're looking at much? Pound AUD. That's normally the pair you're after. Shushant, I hope I'm saying that correctly. What is up? What's a realistic win rate for a simple break and retest strategy with a 1 to 2 risk reward? Yeah, win rate is difficult. Win rate is not strategy based. For me, win rate is trader based. So a win rate could be 70% with a break and retest strategy. It could be 40%. The difference is not necessarily the trader. Not necessarily the strategy. Is how the trader uses the strategy. So yeah, win rate is not strategy based. It's not strategy based. No win rate is formulated primarily off strategy. It's a big part to do with the trader and how he implements it, which is why you have people trading the exact same strategy and one person being profitable and another person being not profitable. The fact that they're not winning enough to be profitable, even though they're using the same strategy, tells you that win rate is not strategy based, it's trader based. So a realistic win rate is whatever you can attain. Again, to be profitable for 1 to 2 risk rewards, you just need to win 50% of your trades. Probably can get away 45%. 45% of your trades you'll get away. Obviously, you just be about profitable, but again, you're making money anyway. You can capitalize on that and improve that in the future. So yeah, 45%, 50% to get profitable. That should be your target, and then you build from there. If you can get 55, that's great. 58, that's great. 60, that's great, and you work your way up as you look to flatten your mistakes. Is that the correct term? Correct your mistakes. And then implement changes and grow from there. So there is no realistic win rate. Because if I say 60% and then you get 50%, you think there's something wrong. But you're still profitable on 50%, so there's nothing wrong. So yeah, just aim for profitability and then build from there. But your realistic win rate could go up as high as 80%. If you're really fine tune things and really work on your mastering your craft. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. Anyway, Euro USD, someone said they're looking to buy or sell. I'm not too sure. Mustafa, I'm planning to enter Euro USD buy side. 4HA, please take a look. So yeah, Euro USD it's not bad. I did say at the start of the week during the weekly analysis. You haven't checked out the weekly analysis, go feel free and do that. It's on the channel now, but I did say for Euro USD, I feel like we could be seeing some short-term buys, and the reason I said short-term buys for Euro USD is because we're trading at some colossal highs here. I know the trend's our friend, the trend's to the upside, but we need to know where in the market we trade. Oh, I just hit the stand. Hope that didn't deafen anyone. But yeah, we're trading in some really important areas where you don't really want to be looking to buy. It's okay buying towards the area, but once you've actually taken the area out, liquidated the highs, this is not really an appealing place to start looking for buys anymore. So yeah, that's why I said coming into the week, this is a really nice level here, really nice resistance there on the left, twice, third time, fourth time briefly as well. Support again early on Monday or Tuesday. Now we're back at the same area again. So I'm not expecting anything crazy from Euro USD personally. And this is just me kind of using experience really, because from the technical side of things, the trend is still our friend. You still be expecting the market to continue higher. But from my experience, buying into areas like this, after price just taking out some new highs, has a lower probability of playing out than when we're buying towards the level and price hasn't tested the level yet. Now that we've taken out the highs, it doesn't fill me too much confidence to be looking for buys anymore. What would be a good opportunity though is if we can actually get a break of structure, then take some sales from this area, because we know a lot of sellers will be lurking at these highs. We had a really crazy move to the downside from this area. We potentially could see another big move to the downside, and if we can break through some structure, that could give us a good confirmation that, okay, the bullish trend's over, bearish trend back in play, rejecting some high time frame levels. Let's start looking for some pullbacks and shorting it to the downside on some lower highs. So that's what I kind of really like at the moment for Euro USD. Obviously, we've got a lot of work to do before anything like that can play out or start to form. But that's what I'm looking at for Euro USD. Break through some structure to the downside, break through the trend line, break through the support level more importantly, and then let's look for some low highs to go down. If we do get a big bullish engulfing here, then fair enough. Again, my analysis is not perfect. Potentially we could still see the market trend continue and the market start flying to the upside. So possibly if it's part of your plan, the buys could play out, but like I said, from my experience, these trades work out less of the time, and I'd rather be looking for the reversal. It's a nice area, yes, some good confluence, but it's just at a dangerous place to buy into. So that's why I'm not a big fan. If this was further down, yes, but it's a little bit too high up for my opinion, for my liking. So hopefully that made sense for Euro USD. Okay, so happy to help trade Tofik. Is that how you say the name? Good morning. What is up? Hope you're doing good. And Smith, what is up? Stock inflation in the UK. Why shorting? Again, when I trade, I'm trading purely on my technicals. If I get a technical pattern that tells me to short, and I get good confluence for that, I will be looking to short. What are the emojis you're putting in the chat? I'll be looking to short. So that's the only thing that warrants me to get into the trade. So if the technicals look good, I get a good entry signal, risk reward looks good, setup looks good, meets my confluences, meets my criteria, I'm entering the trade. There'll be times I'm wrong, times I'm right, but it's all part of it. It's all part of the plan. It's part of the business plan. Akida, what is up? Good morning. What is up? Gold bleeding. Okay, we'll take a look at gold. Hey, Jacob, what is up? Big up. Early on the stream this time. Hope all is well. Anything you're looking at, Jacob? Any markets taking your fancy? March, what is up? Pound AUD, yes, I do like the pair. I've been so busy, haven't had time to take any moves. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. It's going to happen to you. Always going to be at the charts to take the moves. Again, you want to make sure that trading is complementing your life and not taking away from your life. As traders, we can be very, very flexible to when we trade, what markets we trade, when we trade them. If you are busy, then sometimes trading has to take a back seat. Like I did when I was in Rwanda, trading took a back seat, wasn't very active in the markets. And there's times where trading can take the front seat, but you don't want to be trying to force moves when you're busy, trying to take trades when you do something else. That's a bad place to be in. No problem. Happy to help Mustafa. How's Pound CAD? Yeah, let's go see how Pound CAD is doing. Pound CAD hasn't really done too much, to be fair. Again, it's the hourly 4-8 time frame trade, so it's going to take some time to play out. But since taking it, past 23 minutes, we've just seen a few pips move to the upside. So really not much going on there. But these are my targets for the trade. So I won't be doing anything for Pound CAD unless we hit stop loss. Obviously, I'll be taking out the trade, or we hit first TP. So normally what I do is I set an alert at the stop loss, so like this, set an alert at the stop loss, set an alert at the first TP, and then go about my day. because I used to get into a bad pattern where I'd just be watching the trades, and it literally does nothing at all. It's not like watching your trades help the trade moving direction. So I found recently just moving my putting alerts at the stop loss, putting alerts at my first TP, because I'm not a very active manager of trades. Some people look to trail their stops, maybe manage it when structure's created and whatnot. For me, it's just if price hits the target, we take partials, stop loss to break even, move on. If price hits stop loss, take the L onto the next trade. So it's very, very just if it gets here, if it gets there type of thing. So what price does in between is not much my business really. I do sometimes get out the trades early if things don't look good, like I did with NZJPY. So I do check in every few hours or so. But yeah, the alerts do me a favor, because if the alerts are triggered, I'm not at the screen, I can just whip out my phone, do what I need to do. But yeah, NZJPY, I did exit that one a little bit early and got the necessary price action to do that. I'll do that again with pound CAD if I need to. But most of my trades, 90% of my trades, I just let them play out. So yeah, I hope that made sense for that one. I'll go take a look. I mean, gold is still seeing some downside. So yeah, gold is still seeing some downside. So with this one, if you're on the lower time frames, you want to be looking for some pullbacks to short it. You want to be looking at some pullbacks to short it. Structures changing, markets taking out support levels now, falling some lower highs, seeing some good bearish momentum to the downside here with some strong candle closures. So best thing you want to do is waiting for some pullbacks, lower highs, and look to short it down again. So with the bleeding price action right now, there's nothing to do in the markets unless you're already shorting gold. Congratulations. If you're not, there's nothing to do. Sit on your hands, wait for the market to pull back and come to some areas that are favorable for us, and then we can look to get back in the markets. Right now, this is well, at least for the 4H time frame anyway, it's a seller's market, kind of like a head and shoulders, left head, right shoulder. I just noticed that now. And yeah, we can probably see a push down to 1960, 1950, 1940. So that's why we're expecting gold to tick over for the next few days. And depending on what DXY does, depending on what dollar does, if we snap through the highs there at 102.260, it could be seeing some real downside for gold. But yeah, gold's still melting. Pullbacks necessary to take some trades though. Kevy, what's up? ADUSD will take a look. Eurocow will take a look as well. Charles, Jacob, keeping up the Telegram. Hey, nice. Interesting times for currencies with inflation and interest rates. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we had a lot of news for pound. Bear with me. I had a lot of news for pound. We had a lot of news last week for dollar. But we had a lot of news for pound yesterday and this morning as well. We had, so yeah, today we had PPI, inflation, which caused a big push to the upside for pound this morning. Not too sure how far it's going to last, but we'll see. Don't have much later today. Do have some NZD news, New Zealand dollar, 11.45 CPI for that one. And then tomorrow we've got some jobless claims. I'm not too sure how much that's going to affect the market tomorrow for dollar, but that'll be interesting to see as well. So not as hectic as a week as last week. Last week we had a lot going on, and there was a lot of moves. Definitely a good time to stay out of the markets. This week there are some news, but it's a bit more softer. So yeah, it definitely is an interesting time for the currencies. And yeah, I mean the big talk of it is dollar. What's going to happen with dollar? So this is where kind of most of the focus is. I mean, for the FX market, dollar is kind of the governor, if you wish. It's when news comes out for the dollar, it affects pretty much all currencies because it's the reserve currency. If news comes out for NZD, it pretty much just affects NZD, maybe AUD sometimes. If news comes out for the pound, pretty much just affects the pound. But dollar, when big news comes out for dollar, it affects everything. So I'm going to be interested to see what dollar does at this area here. If you can start breaking through the highs, maybe you can see a lot more dollar strength. And pairs like Euro USD, Pound USD can see some downside. I'm interested to see what Pound USD does because it's still messing around at this colossal level here. Really, really big level, still dancing around. And again, I'm not looking to take trades within this area. This for me is just a dodgy area where people are looking to buy and sell, and I know for a fact a lot of people are getting caught on the wrong side. And it's not because they don't know what they're doing, it's just because this is a very sensitive area where, price action like this is likely to happen, which is why, I know from experience, it's probably the best to stay out of the market, wait for the market to, confirm a decision to us where it wants to go, whether up or down, and now we look into long or short the pair. And like I said, when we find out the direction, most likely the direction, obviously nothing's 100%, there's a lot of room to the downside for the market to roll into, even halfway. Halfway's around this area here, even there, you could probably get 100 pips to the downside, maybe a bit more. And if you are going to break to the upside, there's a lot of room to the upside as well. So no rush to get involved with pound USD, still trading at a very sensitive area. And quite frankly, the way I'm seeing it is it's almost consolidation right now. It's testing the area, starting to hold resistance. Will it sell off? Potentially, but I wouldn't sell it. I mean, I am selling a pound pair, I'm selling pound CAD. But against the USD is a little bit more controversial. Pound CAD's a much safer area, much better structure as well. Pound USD, a little bit but we will see. Anyway, so I was going to look at some pairs. So yeah, AUSD, EuroCAD I'll look at next. Thanks for the info, no problem, happy to help. If you guys are enjoying the stream, by the way, please be sure to like and subscribe. It does really help out the channel. If you're not part of the Telegram, feel free to join it. Link in the description to that. Share my trades, updates, watch list for the week, videos that I create there as well. So feel free to check out the Telegram there too. And I do have my trading profile in the link in the description as well, where I post watch list and setups for the week. And there's plenty on there to go through. I have been doing it for the past, actually I don't know how long I've been doing it to be fair, but for a while now. And I post it every week, so feel free to check it out if you want to. Link in the description to that. But anyway, then we're going to take a look at AUSD and EuroCAD. So AUSD is still not a big fan of the pair at all. It's seeing some downside now, obviously dollar is seeing some upside, so AU is reacting negatively to that. Does it warrant a trade? Absolutely not. In terms of my analysis anyway, this is still very hectic, messy price action. I'm not looking to trade that. As a trader, we luckily enough get to choose when to trade and when not to trade, which is it's almost a superpower within itself. And I can tell you right now, this is definitely a time where I'm not looking to trade. Very, very messy price action, difficult to find good setups here, and just not worth the time. So yeah, AUSD, what I'm looking at is possibly a break lower for me to the downside. I'm looking at bearish trend, bigger correction, consolidation, and then a continuation of that bearish trend, back down to some of these lows here eventually around 0.62. So I'm looking for us just to see that momentum to the downside, and then I'll look to start following it again on some cleaner, more tradable opportunities. Right now, I'm not sure what price is doing. I did say there might be a bounce at these lows here, but I did say I expect to see a lower high form, so I do think the bounce will be short term. Maybe the market is forming a lower high right now. Coming back to the resistance here, yeah, I'm not really seeing much with AU at all. So if you're looking to trade it, keep an eye on this support level here. There might be a short-term buyer on this level because even though it's a very corrective structure, there's a slight uptrend there. So buyers will be sitting around here trying to save AUSD from a bigger meltdown. But I do expect this level to break out eventually. So maybe some short-term buys there, on the lower time frames. But I would expect that level to break and a bigger meltdown. So do what you will with that information. But personally for me, I'll be staying away from AUSD. It's not my time to do anything just yet. EuroCAD, we'll take a look as well. Euro Canadian. So yeah, EuroCAD is the partner in crime to Pound CAD, which is the pair I'm trading. So Pound CAD and EuroCAD normally move very, very similar. I'm trading Pound CAD and EuroCAD, they normally head in the same direction. So if Pound CAD's going to fall 7 times out of 10, EuroCAD's going to fall unless there was some news specifically for pound or for euro, then that's when they behave a little bit more differently. But normally Pound CAD and EuroCAD move similarly, sometimes a little bit different paces, but the only time they're really different is when there's specific news for one of the currencies. But yeah, EuroCAD is a mess. I don't really like EuroCAD at all. Pound CAD looks very, very clean structure, good momentum. This one had some nice momentum, yes, but hasn't really cleared out any significant lows. This is a really significant low here. It has taken out a minor low there, so it's not really something I want to look to follow. If this move here took out that low there, then yeah, retracement back to this support level, time resistance would be a nice place to sell and look for the continuation at 1.466. So that would really interest me. But we're a long way from doing that. So EuroCAD at the moment, I'm not looking to do anything. I would favor downside, but it's not worthwhile to actually short or look for opportunity based on my strategy and how I trade. So yeah, yesterday I was talking about EuroCAD, and I'm going to say the exact same thing, which is if we can take out the low here or take out the high here, then the retracement and the continuation after that is something that I would want to follow. So if you can break through the lows here, correct itself, then the continuation, that will be something I want to follow. Same thing with the upside. If you can clear the highs there, see a correction to the downside, and then that impulse there is something I would want to follow. In here, it's a little bit more 50-50. I don't really have so much edge around here, so I'm going to leave it to other people to trade and have fun in that area. But if I can see the market start doing this, then yeah, I will look to get involved, retest some structure, short it. Same thing with the buys as well. So yeah, I can't be much help with EuroCAD because the price action is a little bit doo-doo. So I'm waiting for a bit more development there. But Pound CAD looks way cleaner to me, way better set up in terms of the momentum, the structure, low lows and low highs, looking for us to roll over from that area. Of course, nothing's 100%, but in terms of the structure and the quality of the setup, it's head and shoulders above EuroCAD. No pun intended there either, because there's no head and shoulder pattern. But that's actually a good little pun there. If there was a head and shoulder. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. I mean, there's not really another pair which I'm looking at trading right now. I am still looking to trade the yen pairs. Aussie Swiss, I'm still looking to shorts. Nothing really there yet. And you see a bigger move to 0.61. Yen pairs, I'm still looking for longs there. CHFJY, I'm still looking for longs. Pound yen, I'm still looking for longs and some retracement. Yeah, Euro pound definitely missed the boat for that one. Really nice move to the downside. NZD, I think there could be some nice sells for this one. The market's trying to create some lower highs and also some lower lows. So I do think eventually NZD will make its way back down to the support level here at 0.61. So I'm personally looking at a bigger correction in the continuation. It's a little bit too shallow, a little bit too close to support for me to do anything right now. But I am seeing NZD heading to the downside as well. So we'll be keeping an eye on that one. USD CAD, I'm liking the buy opportunity. If you can double bottom out, see some higher lows, I am liking the buy. Still respecting structure. Haven't broken through it yet. So still looking at higher low forming. We'll keep an eye on USD CAD. And I'll probably keep an eye on gold as well. It's a bit more of a lower time frame trade, but I'll see how the Audi reacts with that level. If I can get some good price action and good risk reward, I'll probably entertain the idea of shorting gold, because now we've got some structure I can play with. Broken through the trend line, and most importantly, broken through the support level. It's not a bad opportunity at all now for gold. Personally, I'm still bullish. I still see the market going a lot higher, but I think we could see some short-term sales now for a little bit. And yeah, if the entry is good, the risk reward's good, I will consider shorting gold. I do like the opportunity. Really nice impulse. This is the impulse I want to follow. Strong impulse moves like this, invites me to sell it. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on gold, but that's probably about it. A lot of other pairs are not quite there. They need a lot of time to develop before I consider looking to get involved or look to do anything really. Like pound USD needs to break out, and I'm not really interested in that. So yeah, we need some time for that to develop. I will take a look at oil, because I was supposed to look at oil earlier, but I forgot to take a look at it for someone. NZC Chef will take a look as well. Euro USD long on third wave TP 1.10383. Okay, yeah, we'll take a look at that one as well. Bro, do you trade every day? No, I do not. I do not trade every day. Probably trade like twice a week on average, maybe. Sometimes don't even take a trade during the week. So Euro USD looking for. Actually, let me go through NZCHF and oil first before I forget. That's how I skip through pairs. Just completely forget I was supposed to do them. NZCHF. This one's similar to Aussie Swiss. Still looking at a push back down to these lows here. Not too far away. Not too far away from the lows there. So for me, this is looking like a really nice sell opportunity if we can see some sufficient price action and a good enough pullback, essentially, because we're very, very close to the monthly lows. So you don't really want to be looking to sell here. On the lower time frames, maybe, yes. I did say yesterday, maybe if you pull back to some of these areas, there might be some nice sells. We just about tapped into that area there. And we did see some sells to the downside, as you can see. So a little bit of corrected price action to the downside. So yeah, if you are going to sell at these prices, hourly, 30-minute, 15-minute at the time frames to do that. Quite frankly, I was saying if we can get some deeper pullbacks to these areas, we can look at another major lower high forming. We've been forming consistent lower highs for quite a while now for New Zealand Swiss. Had some equal highs up here, broke structure to the downside, lower high, lower high, lower high. So if you can pull back up, place another lower high at one of these areas, and I'm expecting price just to roll over and go and hit that monthly level and probably break through as well. So the way I see NZCHF heading is back down to 0.552, and either two scenarios most likely will happen. We'll see some shallow retracement on the lower time frames, maybe retest the level and then sell off, or we'll see the deeper retracement to 0.563, 0.566, and then get the sell off. Either which way, I'm expecting the sell off. Very high probability the sell off will happen. Looking at the higher time frames for the monthly, taking it all the way down to the 15-minute chart, everything is pointing to the downside for New Zealand Swiss. So yeah, chances of us heading lower back down to 0.552, which is this support level here, is very, very, very high. Therefore, it just depends on the pullback it wants to give us. A shallow one to the high. I mean, it's not so shallow on the low time frames, really. If you can get a sell in the 30-minute, you can probably get 1 to 4, 1 to 5 back down to low. So it's not really that shallow of retracement if you drop lower. Or we can get a bigger retracement, retest some of these bigger levels here, and then get the next major low high forming. That will be up to NZCHF, so keep an eye out for it. But in terms of the opportunity, it does look really good for some more downside, Henry. Okay, I'll go take a look at Euro USD and oil as well. As you vlogs bro about gold, yeah, gold's looking good for some shorts. I'm looking at price continuing to the downside. USJPY will take a look as well. First, let me go through oil, then oil's seeing some downside now. So yeah, oil coming into the resistance there. Now I'm seeing some downside. Potentially, are we going to go look to fill the gap now? Are we going to look to fill the gap? Where am I going? There it is. So we've got a little gap there with oil that I know a lot of people looking to trade the range between that gap originally. So looking to sell that gap didn't quite happen. We got another move to the upside first, maybe to take some people, out of the trade originally, and then you could look to go and take the gap. But gaps normally do fill. 70% of the time, 80% of the time, they normally do fill. So there's a high probability, oil will see some downside to fill this gap. And I say that because high time frames are still quite bearish, and the market is still holding onto that resistance level there as well. Now, I'm not really liking the opportunity. I mean, it sort of looks like the market could be forming potentially a head and shoulder pattern with the left, the head, and possibly a right shoulder. So that could be something to entertain. I was actually expecting prices to start breaking higher, but it failed to break through the resistance. So 81.71 looks like a good little place we can actually sell from, and possibly the gap could be the target. So keep an eye on that resistance there, because obviously you don't want to be looking to sell the market now. Come into the support, you want to see some upside before you look to sell. But yeah, essentially that gap could be looked to fill. It's a humongous gap. I haven't seen a gap that big for oil, since I have no idea when. Looking through the market now, can't really spot anything, and we're all the way back to 2017. So yeah, it's a humongous gap there for oil on the daily chart. So odds of us filling it, are going increasingly higher as we fail to break through 82. So yeah, retracement and continuation for oil is what I'll be expecting. So yeah, shorts around there for that head and shoulder pattern will look fairly decent. Even the break and retest of the neckline will look good as well. So keep an eye on the shorts there for oil. Anyway, let me go take a look at Euro USD. Someone said they're looking to go long, I think. Did you go long? Can't find the message. Oh, there we go. Euro USD long on third wave, TP1 1.10383. Let me go take a look. So long on the third wave. So which one's the third wave? Because I'm seeing 1, 2, 3. This is like the fourth wave in my book. Potentially even 5 if you count that one there. But I suppose you're going long around here, because if you're saying you're going long right now, then your entry will be somewhere around here. And your TP 1.10383. 1.10383. Okay, so near enough back to the highs. So yeah, not bad. I mean, like I said earlier, I don't really like the opportunity because of the location. The fact that we have taken up the highs down the left, it lowers the probability. Quite a lot of the market seeing some more upside. So I know the market's still consistent with these high lows, still giving us good confidence in these areas, still respecting resistance and support. But from my experience, my trading experience, I haven't had much success, or as much success as buying towards these bigger key levels than buying when they've already been liquidated, the market's already taken up the highs, or we're trading right next to them. Probability of the trades have worked out a lot less from my trading strategy. Obviously, I do not share the same trading strategy as you, or probably not. So that's just my 2 pence. So I do like the confluence. If this was like further down, then yeah, that'll be a trade that I'll probably be looking to get involved with in actually. But the reason I'm not looking to do it is because we're too close to the highs. So at the beginning of the week, when I was doing the weekly analysis, I was telling people I do see some short-term buys for euro, back to resistance. We haven't quite made it back to resistance yet though, which we kind of did see on Monday, Tuesday, did see a little bit of upside. But yeah, I'm not really a fan of euro flying to the upside again. It could do, I could be wrong, but I don't really favor it. As a worthwhile opportunity for me to get involved. Again, I'm looking at it from a probability standpoint, not necessarily would it happen or not. The trend is still up, the trend's still our friend, but I know the probability is a lot lower when I'm buying close to these areas. Therefore, I'm staying away and waiting for some more development and actually looking to see if we can get the reversal, break some structure to the downside, and look for some lower highs to short. So this is actually one I'm waiting to see what happens. If it doesn't happen, we start flying to the upside, then yeah, once we get way above the highs, then I'll be looking to look for some high lows to continue it. So at least I'm buying on top of the area, away from the level rather than in towards the level, or break a structure for the sell. So that's kind of what I'm interested for euro. It's not a bad place. The confluence is quite good there, but it's just too close to the highs for my liking. So that's why I don't really like the opportunity there for euro. But of course, if it fits your plan, see out the trade, do what you need to do. JPY will take a look. Salah, Eric, for Euro USD, Euro USD 1.0905 is key. If you break that, bears will come flooding it, but I do not see us breaking it. The pair is extremely bullish. Look at the price action on the weekly chart. Yeah, I mean, I do agree with you, to be fair. And the fact that if you can hold that level, the market can still fly to the upside. But like I said, I'm not looking at buying at those prices. I understand that the trend's still up. We're still seeing a bigger uptrend within a smaller uptrend. But again, from my experience, these setups here work out a lot less than setups down here. So I'm not looking to buy anywhere around this area. Whether it break or not is a question that doesn't really matter unless you're actually willing to take the trade at these prices. Because if you're looking for the sell, then obviously you're looking for the breakout. If you're looking for the buy, then obviously you're looking for the price to hold. If you're not looking to do anything like myself, I'm just going to see what happens, because just because I don't want to buy here doesn't mean I don't want to buy up there. So I'm still willing to buy Euro USD, but I just need price to be above that area, away from that zone. And I'm looking to sell as well, but I need price to break through. So whether it holds or not, we'll see. There'll be opportunities, before and after the move, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I don't like the opportunities too close to the highs for me to buy it. So yeah, I don't really like the opportunity personally, but it is a good area, it's good confluence as well. So it does stand a chance, but just not enough for me to take the trade or press the trigger. But you're definitely right. If price starts breaking through that, it could be game over for Euro. Not game over, but maybe deep retracement, because we've still got a major higher low all the way down here. So this is still a very important low. We might just take a bit of a breather, retrace a little bit further down, and then start attacking the highs again. So that's probably what I'll be expecting to happen. Anyway, Waka, I hope I'm saying that correct. Waka Ahmed. Okay, we'll go take the gold. Gold's been very, very popular today, and I understand why, to be fair. No problem, Richie, happy to help. TR Alex, AGJPY, good sell. Okay, we'll take a look at 1946. Akida, JPY basket, 1 week structure, please. Okay, I'll take a look. First, let me go through the old gold. So yeah, gold, I'm actually interested to sell. If I can get some good price action with good risk reward, I'll be interested to take it myself. But yeah, price is breaking to the downside, so I'm expecting gold to roll over 1960, 1950, 1940, the targets I'm looking at, and some pullbacks into 1992, 1993 is the area I'm looking at to short from. Really nice support there, support. Broke through with really good momentum, correction, continuation, very, very simple. Gold right now is in the middle of nowhere, so I'm not looking to do anything with gold. It's in the middle of nowhere. We might see some more downside. It might retrace. That's up to gold. If you're in the trade, congratulations. But if you're not, you're waiting on the sidelines for an opportunity. And yeah, you're waiting for some pullback, which is what I'm waiting for. So nothing to do right now for gold. I do think there's a lot more downside for this guy. But we need to wait for the retracement before looking to get in. Gold might be looking to retrace. If you're looking to buy that, feel free, but make sure it's a part of your plan and something that is a high probability opportunity, not just because you think it might go up. So yeah, gold, I do like the opportunity for this one, but we got some retracing to do before anything is justified. AJPY, will take a look. So AJPY, like I said, is coming up to some nice areas to sell from. I'm looking at the higher time frames with this one, specifically the daily chart. Really, really nice lower lows and lower highs. I'm looking for another one to develop around here, for another push to the downside into the support level. However, 4H structure is not quite there. You do have some bullish structure here in the 4 hour impulse correction. Impulse, arguably, a little bit corrective. But I need to see some signs of reversal on the 4H. Some structure breaking, some lower lows, lower highs, and then I'll look to get involved on one of those lower highs. Either we start forming it there, or we push up a little bit higher into this area, some good confluence there on the higher time frames. But yeah, the way I see it is you could be forming a major lower high on the daily to roll back over, or maybe just come back and hit the support. Don't have to necessarily take out the lows. But yeah, AJPY bears, I'm seeing shorts from. You said you're looking at 94.6. Where's 94.6? 90.46. So that's pretty much the highs right now. So are you short there, or are you looking to short there? Yes, a little bit. It's not too bad of opportunity actually. We do have the 0.618 there, and also we do have that broken support term resistance. Like I said, I need to see some evidence the market is breaking through some structure, so I'm not willing to short just yet. It's not a bad area, but it's a little bit aggressive for me. So yeah, AJPY, I do agree with the. Are you selling? You just said 90.46. Okay, you are selling. Okay, so yeah, so it's decent sell. I do agree with you with the bias, the direction, but it's a little bit too early for me. A little bit too early for me. But yeah, I am looking at a move to the downside from either one of these areas. Just need to see some necessary development for me to get involved. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out on that. By the way, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. Almost at 8k subscribers, almost at 8k. Hitting some milestones. Okay, let me go take a look at the JPY basket. What is it again? Is it JXY? Or do you have to type JPY basket? I keep forgetting what it's called. I never look at it personally. Pound USD, okay, we'll take a look. AJPY is a golden zone for sell. Break structure 2 times in the 5 minute. Yeah, I don't really look at the 5 minute chart for myself. Let me go take a look quickly though, since I'm on the chart. Might as well. Yeah, 5 minutes are a little bit too low for me. Okay, yeah, it is a break of structure there. It's not really a good one though, is it? It has broken through that, but you know, this is definitely the more important low, because the market is still creating higher lows, as we can see. You know, although we have broken through these lows here, the market could still just do this and still continue that pattern. This is the more important low for price to break through. Not saying this is not a break structure, it is, but you can't necessarily expect it to completely roll over. It might just give you a move like this to the downside and then start pushing back up again. So this could be the move you're looking to take advantage of, which is perfectly fine. But you can't be looking to push it further than that. Well, you can, but it wouldn't be wise to. If we start breaking through some of this structure, you know, we've got some equal highs here, high 1, high 2, breaking through this, you know, then that becomes very, very interesting. You know, that's probably like a break of structure in the hourly time frame. You know, break through those lows there, double top, lower high, retest some structure there, break with the trend line as well. You know, that becomes very, very interesting. But yeah, the break of structure there, you know, breaking through these lows is not of such great significance unless we break through those lows. So yeah, expecting some downside, you're right, but I wouldn't try and go for the home run with the 5 minute break of structure. It's a little bit aggressive. But obviously, if you got a plan, trade the plan. Anyway, so I'm going to take a look at JPY. Is it JXY? Is it JXY? I think so. I mean, this looks identical to USD JPY, so I suppose so. It's a little bit more patchy, but it's doing the job. So yeah, you said weekly time frame, didn't you? So yeah, weekly time frame, it looks exactly like USD JPY, but inverted. So yeah, I would be expecting price probably to make its way back down to the support level there. The fact that we are failing to show the continuation to the upside. We're seeing some consistent lower highs here. So next major target is 73, 73.5. So yeah, from a weekly perspective, we do have a downtrend which is still intact from the high time frames. As you can see, impulse correction, impulse. Haven't quite retested this area though. That would be a nice place to retest. But yeah, from a weekly standpoint, had a push high, push back down, failed to make a higher high. You would expect price to come retest the same support level, maybe even break through as well. But yeah, JPY would be expecting a push down there, which could mean USJPY is going to make a push up there. Back to that resistance. I mean, to be fair, it still stands with the analysis on the 4H of the higher highs and higher lows. If you can see a pullback for this one into some of these areas, we'll be expecting price to the upside. So that could be a very nice buy there, which lines up with the price action on the JPY as well. So yeah, hopefully that made sense. Okay, I'll go take a look at pound USD, and then we'll finish off in Euro JPY, so coming up to the end of the stream. I will be live again tomorrow though. So if you are enjoying the stream, the channel, please be sure to check in tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on the stream, or hit the bell, even better. But yeah, pound USD, like I said before, I'm not interested in anything in here. This is all consolidation, and most importantly, this consolidation is trading just in between a very, very key level in the higher time frame. So this is a very just dodgy place to be in for pound USD. It might just be price faking to the upside, getting ready for a move back down, but I wouldn't try and guess that. I'll wait for price to actually start breaking through some structure first. Then yeah, retracement after that looks very, very tidy. Yeah, if we get something like this, I will 100% be looking to short pound USD, because then we've got, a couple fake outs to the upside, 1 and 2. We've got a break of structure to the downside, impulse to move as well. The retracement after that, retest some structure. Yeah, that is a beautiful setup. Probably got some nice fib confidence there as well. And we've got a range to work with, potentially all the way down to the lows. I probably wouldn't push it that far. Probably look at 50%, which is probably around this area here. So yeah, that will definitely be a setup I'll be interested in. Same with the upside as well. Maybe start clearing the highs, retest the structure, continuation as well. That's what I'll be interested in. Excuse me. So yeah, pound USD, if you start clearing out the lows or clearing out the highs is what I'm interested in. Inside that zone there, trading alongside that daily level, very sensitive region around 1.245. Not interested to do anything there. It's just not high probability. I'm not trying to guess the market. I'm trying to wait for good opportunities, and these are good opportunities. So that's kind of the analysis for pound USD, and Euro JPY. Looking at a higher low falling, but yeah, we're at resistance right now. Hey, thank you so much, Sammy, for subscribing. So yeah, we're at resistance right now, so there's not much to do here apart from waiting for retracement. I know people will be looking to sell up here, but that's just never really my forte. I need price to retrace, and then I'll look for the continuation. So personally for me, as I was speaking last week, 145.500 was the area of interest. Still the same area of interest this week as well. So yeah, JPY pairs have kind of left me behind a little bit. CHF JPY, Euro JPY, Pound JPY especially. But if you can get some corrections, which I think will eventually come, they're very corrected price action. These are not normally sustainable. We do expect to see a relief of that soon. So I'm confident we can get some downside. Not sure if it will go all the way down here. If it does, that'd be fantastic. But we'll have to see. But yeah, I'm looking at some buys for Euro Yen as well. Back to highs, and the daily highs at 148.410. But yeah, guys, we have come to the end of the stream. Like I said, we'll be live again tomorrow. So if you guys have enjoyed it, please be sure to tune in tomorrow. If I do get any other opportunities, I'll let you guys know. But currently at the moment, I am only in pound CAD. Where is pound CAD? There you are. So I'm currently trading pound CAD, which I was doing on this candle here. Haven't really seen too much from this one. Bit of a bullish candle wick to the upside, but the most important thing was still holding to the level. Still looking at more downside for pound CAD. So we'll let you guys know how this one gets on. If I do hit the TP areas, I'll share with you guys in the Telegram. If I do get into another position, I'll let you guys know as well. But yeah, guys. Yeah, link to the Telegram, by the way, is in the description. But yeah, guys, have a comment at the end of the stream. Thank you so much for coming to the stream. Thank you to our moderators as well for tuning in and controlling things. Thank you so much, Anis, Moch, Richie. Thank you so much for coming to the stream. Really do appreciate it. If you guys did enjoy it, please do like and subscribe. Really do appreciate everyone who has liked the video and who has subscribed. Almost at 8K subscribers. But yeah, guys, I will catch you all tomorrow. We don't have much news out later today, so go nuts. I'm joking. Don't risk. Proper risk management, please. But yeah, guys, I'll catch you all tomorrow. Stay safe. And yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.